the stalking and operation. And in the stalkers var riktigt limpik tällä systeemalla ja status på väldigt processing in doctor indication also developing revelation harmonizing. What do people of the human not eating more become more as pressure there's a easy for the taken the person will be able to conscious about his stomach fullness and after the blood letter there. I mean it's not like that we'll talk about what happened because everybody could receive the reason. Never give up I love everybody. Don't for your hair. Italia. No, I'm sad, you know. Italia intros. I noticed in Italian that I special thank you for that oh, it's bad. The human does eat from the answer is not. No. I will do it anyway. Just give me a time. You will see. This balance is the part of your system. I think the system is balanced. It's everything else, man. It functions. So it's all consuming. Around that fashion. There was so much for that thing that you guys are going to be transporting stuff on different units earlier. Because I'm up there, you know, on top of this or like all it all. What happened again? Push it on. Oh yeah. More like it. I don't know. Oh yeah. That was, well, I like this, I'm not acting, acting is just that. I don't know, it's any reality, everything is just, for me, it's acting, that's what I feel, it's really you, whatever you do, or whatever it is, well, to all things, fuck yeah, Rihanna, I don't know how she is, but, it's just, I mean, but here is somebody who's really, what's name? Rihanna. What's that from? Barbara. I sorry, keeping so, yeah. Something hate about it. Like a type, sort of, I pronounce it, I pronounce it. How about the lucky about just the eyelashes, right? What problem is it? Oh, what is it? Yes, naturally, hormones make me do things, and was that this kind of reproduction, no showers, you were further behind yes, that latter is of course better to the work that not get it out of the project where I do the I remember the family members of that will be named on it. That's it. It's a surprise that people are less interested in election. That the issues for yesterday. Continuity. But still have about rational because the killing just one condition the choices about the refugees as a solution. Refugees so therefore must usually by because of the night restitution is in fact restitution. This is not like alien for all the massive suffering of dominant amazing the cast more like that so we want away from that because and that's 100 years voice used there's that's the research when not and refugees and last week is so abuse of people over the fact that the refugees refugees have any reason that they stand at any choice any type of day alone that is mindset every another that's reason the whole that's great and around the hall around my home it's all useless early there already good 17 seconds there's the advertise traps are more good it's funny it's so funny it's always got so it's funny that's these are specialists the 100 meter that is specific the needs and best selects and all the spectrum background no way to get this that's something just in a car that's an animal that's vertical mass giant rats kun pitää skeletter struktureer för mammasissa pitämäisiä ja se on rinnalliset automaatteja tänne skeletter bronsaan ja ilmaisuus mutta also to get the similarity. I mean, really see about it as a monorail and homorail. Interesting, it does not feel like females. It's a female story. Okay, you know this, you say that females, there's always more females than males, so whatever man you put in there, because there's so many females always are more targeted on focus than males, I really have a mistake there, but whatever, I never saw this discovery. So, what I expect myself is around here. Mojo Night Turner. I don't think about the hypotension. Holographic seal, there's a ship intelligence. Seal, there's a very good, very good, but there's still a kind of a telegram that manufactured too crazy, very good. It's doesn't just study because master case is very crazy holographic case. But the here is interesting medical case, but they see the there's a secure different distance case. Program secure. There's a lot of things about secure. Security is a strength. Is the security that's applicated? It over is the case. Because one of these medium is operable in one direction. You don't need to have at least in two directions operable. Ylipäänsä security siellä Pattukkoida to parallel go yritetään mediassa no on replaceissa niitä päiväisille iso tape that could be on the as a portal yeah so you get no you can't have anything just the one more there's a waste of space Probably every electricity has replaced the ground that the guaranteed electricity call and replacer. But think about if every telephone behind there will be one ultra in after that fuels that make them because every year there's a average humans is consumed so that countries if you have a computer because there will be 200 cases, however, every human average case, in every one take consuming 100 cases, 70 cases, 100 cases, seals are broken. Nuclear machine. The company is a fake holographic tape. I got the color yet, but there's a fake there's no Orpison F-key fake site there. There's a comparison fake versus the fake is the Chinese I remember this anyway. So somebody could I did not include the analysis case. So what's broken area? There's a number, there's an escalator, there's nothing in there. It's got a hardware spot for fly, yeah. There's a fake for like a user without publication. Possible let's go to the case soon. Batteries. I was interesting to left on surgical order. Okay, the tool is cellular area is a chicken that's on the coffee form. Was a special for so the justification with the presence of very food as a student. So for the whole to the pocket of the way like that. You will prove the whole to the pocket of student. Certain amount of presence
donazione di pezzo da specchio per pezzo di biblioteca tutti se si scrive se pezzo proprio silent that's what I realize always says that complex and all of that è stato corso la cosa che sta molto forma per l'altro compito che ci sono la serie di investigation per incidere la scoperta di una casa il secolo da persone per la serie specifica per il momento che fare per si siete la differenza on street per fake where you fire fake what the explosive is actually a fabrication or also is really per lo stato della fabrication forse per parte di it's avoiding this besides there's fake projects che sono la cosa dice per fare cosa just per questa sta in fronte a parte che fine claude application ma deve stare male la stessa application in questo senso sono contro fare l'atto non lo si manifesta le cose per l'atto stesso per esempio company make it doesn't I guess because first of all manufacturing everything the company dell'atto è per unique diventa reale I mean break hit non è il suo telefono che è no hard in discounto per di fabrication è proprio basically invece questo per creare c'è un po' la se si la favore tutto se dici la bocca di grande per però se non dici la parola di niente perché sei di alternative se non porta fare like is around that they're supposed to do with their spin package software called maybe or don't face it or that is called for no use to see benessere first advice però come fare questo after was molto come per molto illustrare la true of the customers that is already inside the campfire because of the interest of the technique I will be making campfire with emphasis everything is inspected absolutely terrified with coming inside the country on purpose I have a money categories that are inclusive of money comes out already gets in the every day there's a really low in a job and will be absolutely different there must be other whole service daily so you manufacture it basically and models that then preppers are using prices it's just about low prices and actually run this often to carry 2004 due carte per adesso se resta oltre per cui might not so this is a lot of talkin fare es was prende se cipro prezzo però per questi tre cose mi si sono le prepanze mi porto giù cosa di servizio non torna per fortuna si perde we per adesso that came from the episode called the children of the last so it's basically invitato i product si sprema spone per questo per scrivere persone includere chi denaro auti da parte si giunta della sembra di specca ora per essere in parte fare la che ora io sto scattando di versione per che c'è con la si per bene disgrazia la cover in the national was underneath cover the particular scope perché capilasi e fare il segretario del professore Rubio sosis di la rivista non fare da parte di Israele per necessity non è per eso this is the from distributor even now the Patrick came from the service after this will help you to support for producer so from ask about the manufacturer the local suppliers is key to the scope in actually one of the items from the crystals the crystals are not only inside the country then come the body element of it there is drop repeating as a level as that goes the reason why it's not because but then this is something like keeping not all every year but not every year in 5 years up for the ball everything whatever is like 2, 4, 8, 16, 32 so therefore if you can follow up at the 5 years on it the work is our downside of the 20 times the volume increase a year. 60 times volume increase in 4 years, 32 times in 6 years. Is 60 times 64 times 30 years, it's 4 times increase the volume. And 148 times in 8 years, it is 256 in 9 years. And 512 times in 10 years. So one power increases 10 times, 112 power. Think about it's not going to be materialist. This is every this thing. The materialism is remains same, but the 512 times more products except for the more of the so you don't know what it's going to be 512 in the next year. It's massive. There is $1,000 on the ships every day. Traveling in the huge vessels of shipping of the containers application. Millions of them. That's massive ceremony days and they will be all ending in close and all transport massive around days, especially the shipping area. I think they also get a press conference and figure out how to do it. The realities of life goods are luckily focused I think there's a transport includes planning and luckily focus on this higher part is because of outside of the outside of protecting all protection to very well. Then you don't have to allow that individual and not but can't make fun of other things. Then you know those kind of fighters and at least they take a kid around the inch so I'll try for them for honest because make us not away but that's enough sales premium right now. And there is content for this, so it makes it hard for them, so but I understand the hard-tech products is the content that the work for this. You have users already in content ready, and it's not always a problem the same thing. You want to type simple, cheaper out here, but then monotonic businesses. So what? Thank you very much. What's your name? I got your name. Now you are a self-relation, you have to be correct analytically. So I would do for this is, hey, they work on it, I say, hey, okay, so everybody will be always go police station with the other service, and hey, but it is actually I don't really care about the SP at the shop because I'm so poor. That is alright, that's good. You qualified my American collection of the nice interesting people also. And deep down it says maybe it was start uploading it was in the layer. I won't give up this. I actually started so far. Started från Lindegard och nu kan man vara det textaste. Questa vicina partenza guidare troppo da l'inizio mi quello da stilare. Questo è stato da ilasse parte da perché lo so avanti. Di se seconda vicina. You find out that usually travelers is però se fanno a creare i cose di carino per services I need to go perform in the mental health business. This is this is okay. We're going to do the work finish levels that each and every smells real fish. I mean, you don't have to wrap it up there. You guys are set up a plan of the around 1 hour already. You should understand it longer. We get that is other alligators. And so that's it. Then it's a maybe or it's very big here. Get that because we're training. And there's a easy energy. What difference make it? You don't necessarily difference if you need camera, imagination. Shut up, selfish, no like another. I'll be off the location. Utilizzo per la prima volta che c'è senza fare. Alle povere, sarò già solo povere. Al stesso stile, en enkele faktiska som överråder fortune over framöver för den vita tanke. Jag måste ta till att jag kan få till pengar till det. I vida så får jag låta sig uppåt särskilt. Jag slår fan. Jag är det samtidigt att man testar sig vad jag riktigt testar. Jag uppväger budgeten till slutet att så säga. Det står det är mycket. Vi är också det är nästan inte bara det så det känns bara det så det säger sig. Det är en diskussion det är det är det sägs som ibland till det för att det är mot en maskiala questa era simile ma sarebbe una repubblica repubblica finalmente veramente alla fine allora il sistema aveva creato era vedete allora tale di quella chiesa si corregge allora anche che si muoia allora ma se il ramo è ma bene allora non deve forse rispetto perché una nuova mortal force that's not true but more really force at it will be more than the use as the simulation analysis this is the series that is international listening and along with personal things everything it should have either was English is just very much similar Poland to be a share when it gets together the is supposed to last more than a little to so that way the makes it to fire he will whisper to be surface of the ejects almost popular economics of the almost statue is also supposed to that but the hours of the sun of the questions leadership processes going to but a lot of fighters so use brand of this power check should alteration injects the it's job already going to search and now well the both different products after this the nano the Spanish novellas are very famous. The Rockstars is a whole those people is space for each is the biggest case and free to wake so the distance and content face by the prospect keep them to go to the most analysis and of course there's a robot you get a focus gear at the retires you saw all of the more time of it the more il livello di chance che è invece so the initiation this one case this is unfit answer auditing the personal values you do it get to work also see the chance of making myself his sort of resignation display with expressive portion see the direction display with systems of such a or quando qualche was something the worst part of it is about because I thought was process that's a new for what loses and now we can create links making sure that from the supplies and fake these processes checks are these specialities may saw whose unknowable independent composite parts into the filter means that it was unaware that memory is for serving fronteete on tipo stati klassi lähtiöitä. Mulla se on tässä. Tällä lässytä siis. Tätä människor som pratar med oss från trust, kristna trust, det så är det trust, helt rätt att försöka att man vet att allt är en ljus insatt när man har det systemet. Så det är funktion. Här det kan det sviden. Så det är lite action och det är distans fanatiskt. Det är one of the source cruiser. Israel så är det för framgångsrikt. This kind of damage is just that Westille particularly I love the easy in how is ruining my king of the inspiration and the kind of content. But this one of the first was as far as he came from Melachana. Instead one person is sorcerer. This is upwards 66,000 and that's what upper principalities are so substantial schools or someone have come from and the content that enforces and is high priority. When every company represents that has the key to solve the problem. A lot of recognition for carries made. As a general representative of low-cost labor, total distribution, government has a ton of little content critic charge. The great dramatic production company takes it. Good to much place of face. Is independent number of phone the part the companies do business at that. English is a lockup. To the years not to trust was included for I started following price where I thought it there. The current office is in a response to the request comment on the it was on the country. But as a better perfect answer they probably don't know and it's probably until you try to get to know no one make it so easy because the threat was a high performance from so yes it turned out to be a for phone Brooklyn. Alkoon täytyisi postita teemalla lähtöse freezers. Lot of freezer classes already vuoden starter. Just thinking about it online store and demand the stores. So store the fakes around. I'm all like applications to use it. This is a reference the money of 15s and that stops it up on the box models don't let go deal with the case by case. Case by case, general episode of Dexter Senator. I have no other resources for actually branding manufacturer. I was really get the money back for the store where the focus is for the good side. The campus lab was a core proper school side close. Contemplating competitor side. I don't think it's very contemplating data. Yeah, it is pros case. When just looking out at the power distribution knock complication. Basically he was looking for that. It was a mistake, intentional. You're able to getting off the product to the internet of color skin. You know, intentional. Yeah. And the future. Let's see what's there. Che troppo seminario sempre era una persona no, però si c'è stanna. Ego är negativt att in the review about it. After guys, low risk is a measure. Try that as dirty keep to that. Very basic is a very population. Seeking a clarification. So anyways, maybe something like that. Like that. Well, really good discussion. This is transparent. I think it's a nice and fat on it. This is not when I show them fat all the time. Let's see. si sellainen. Kuten kaikki ylipääkälle tulee. Education program. Our memory is easily so everything that the graphic cards on the laptop together and you kind of clusters out of it. They got more higher pressure, more thing is there. Verkininek, Brauf, Raassa, ja pidän soperpuvaista. Ylöpöstäneen että kalvokas pisa. Ylöpöstäneen myös on sitä muuta kopiisoida. Road, että miten se läpissää sen, että alonin tästä lopmaattiin se. Ratsan siihen. Hinnuettöötkejä. Ja se päiväitä. Niin sieltä. Populaarissa se on se laatik äänpäinen. Minä se on kisoja, mutta siinä on praadiksi oltiin saada pappisparkin trenniänsä. Ja telttäniänsä alasään. Wow. Exotoriaisen täsköön, että teoreettisesti meillä on hardware tickets, ja se on aina kampinaisen kyllä deep profit, very hard to get a deal. Actually, this campus gives the musician campus cultural education. Because we can access not internet bank account, but we also have internet bank account. Living Canada is nothing to that. Ratkaise already inverted is a visa-alan tehdä. Se on mikä se visa heti ruokaan. Aina kyllä aina haluaite. Halutaan harkata every unit and the air banking of the electionism selection. Every element of the package making sense that every single cases of the confirmation. That makes a unique observation makes confirmation is confirmation explanation. Therefore, it's always valid as the bank web page is the internet decided on the bank with the bank level selection against the patient. That's very clear for smaller, and I mean that's the basically. So if there's a kind of it's because the system is too easy to break, like lots of things are, and the system just is not good stop it. That's not thing happening. Fakes the system is fake holography that's the yeah. Holography that's it. That's all fake that's interesting. So what are the fakes yeah? Because batteries, so like batteries fake the easy way is whatever batteries is here it is. It's a measureless case exposition pushes through like the fake case every case policy about it and products case case of it is a fake. Many people have no idea about that. There's a difference about these kind of products and holography. Yeah, Chinese again, yeah. And I don't say Chinese, but it's a key idea, so it's Chinese knowledge, but that's what they're called a serious today, so there's all people in discuss about this rats are. You know, Chinese studies is okay. It doesn't matter what they do, not that it's a risk anyway, but it's really cool, but especially these are the present passports of this, passports are like this, crap benefit. Israele Chinese companies tra i nuovi pending, contante trading, non era macchina per Chinese, devo parlare, devo trasferire, cioè car, oh Christ, non so ma che si sta facendo, accese, non mandi service over. I just effective because it's just that's what happened. I don't know. There's no energy anymore. I don't know what's next to do. It's not like okay, I can make one day relationship on it, probably very dangerous in first person. I don't think so. I'm dying about that. Very cool about that. I think injection. I would be huge amount of the sugar, so just pour sugar there. So that's what happened. And I remember the point that I had a pour sugar level here in operation. It's all the easiest case. Duration, whatever energy density go from. Infinite matter situation, and because of that, one of them looking for everything, hormones, everything I mean, so there is something causing the physical aspect to the fitness, because I don't myself, no, all it is great, that is something that you don't know about it. There's so many things aspect to it, so many things, it can be so many things, it's just respectful to say anything that they say, we have this scary thing about it, dangerous diseases, the characteristics of kind of like hormonal aspects, because it means dangerous diseases like cancers, which would be really taken as a kind of treatment for a human life preservation, preservation. Otherwise, the kind of system of questions are not life-threatening. The characters that cause morbidity, but really kind of as a kind of general fatigue, whatever causes are. The question is basically taken a story of fatigue. I don't know. This is so tired. I don't really like the kind of things. You don't like it? No. I think this never was case. It's one way. It's just let's face it. They talk about that's the one thing. There's all kinds of different things in our life out here. Because of the understanding is never basically the theory and tradition in the actually external product. We talk about the history of the psychiatry. One thing is about the volume kind of this focuses on kind of the reality about it. Talk about what is schizophrenia, I guess. I don't know. You're gonna study every lot, elaborate with you more about that. But because that is very relevant in my case, or other cases. Schizophrenic tests are a problem. There's a test difference that kind of create conditions that is very obvious. And I have that physical absolutely shown about that. I have experienced physical just before factory, but through the actually I have schizophrenia, so it's do say they got a presence with this kind of thing, and she know about this, the problem here talk a little bit more about even level supplements, so you kind of thing, was the kind of idealist case, and superior quality about the experience, or some kind of thing, and different guys, and what is the kind of things are positive, okay, this kind of thing are is a kind of a physical, absolutely, it's more for behavioral characteristics, how a function is an expert, the schizophrenic person can say about just the freezing application, one moment they're looking for, but it's a lot of time which what they do, how the behavior, how they operate, you can really tell about it, just looking immediately, and that's a bit diesel, this is kind of a conditions, it's so hard to really because you don't really see about the symptoms about it, but it's a kind of a it's so much of chemical about it also, so not chemical, it is a physical pathophysiological, so it's characteristic as a kind of a physiological measure of quality. So we have all correlation, this is a medical acceleration 35 millimeter of the se non l'altra verso poi non la vedo se vuoi dire si deve sicuramente quella di chiudere sulla terra così parte bene sulla terra tu sei parte fine e io so what to say so this is condition and the part che the part of this is not really characteristic as and the case is some people some people say don't care about this happen you know people flat talk as I said right here is getting operating so kind of actual effective devices and laceration or causing the sepsis and the theatrical possibility in other rationalists say that this might not actually cause sepsis it's not healing anyway automatically for bondage in other cases there's a coffee used to understand that easy policy to suppress as got condition electricity social così con cose sepsis can be stay alive for adesso we really from the situation what kind of clouds it has is interesting how this a function of all together as the possibilities that document conditions I mean biblical different eras human history different condition the condition is about that's happening what's about 5,000 years ago this is a long time ago you really don't need to anywhere for 5,000 years 5,000 years ago the way people will build some small hunting village because you build hunters you're not going to even do a specific first thing is you are somehow I'm not really a hunter as a kind of who's nature it's like kind of call it a relation but in hell with this situation is there's no really clear knowledge specific you need to know how to be in the art but you have no anything is secure about it the other problem is 5,000 years ago you gotta go into this kind of people think happen they are not yet about that but they have it this kind of thing they're not really unuseful persons are not really generalizing because they're key now we were 5 years ago something really had to change about it okay they don't the thoughts or just thinking about it was this kind of if you still be holding this kind of this still solid knowledge of the new this is 500 years ago 600 years ago it's 2,400 about her or in the years 400 years we can know it's about it because it's super and then she had all those time around here they said well after her the most probably she not genius like in the second part of some kind of a planes school to make it hot then each other some energy education or there's different relations people that view particular institutions and prisons are actually so time right the difference is because different the people are this is an obstacle this scrivere un po' di mente istituzione variety but when it's separate class or house whereas all using the movement investigation and this is separation should have even existed what or nowhere in earth it was not separated very institutional whether to be especially the way you say this concept of education of the society they were the collections of the has been probably made of the house and the buildings of it to be held down here as if they have been prisons and who knows how long that is the user was kept first places or whatever they want to separate build is that especially east to the city I have two cars because they try to keep and actually it is especially separate the institutions from what kind of testimony, but separately is the plot, the kind of conditions in the world is very tired because they're mentally ill and fit. Therefore, the key festival can those institutions for all the kind of the same kind of people. Maybe there was now people who are mentally ill, not fit. There are those huge bullshit.
Knowledge about us is very little for myself. I wasn't there doing witnessing that. And like most of history, there's always been a lot of different things. And my thought over the person who worked in the shop, there's always been some around this. And when you go past history, there's no trouble about all this.
Conditions always in general there's a pause. Whereas in the weekly but there's more and more focusing to better rebellion. So let me say I haven't really focused at all definitely. But the focus can only be doing previous one thing as of the meaning of the last interesting. I don't think so it's one choice maybe. So there's two choices or everything like that. And that's because there's no choices in the universe. That's the issue. You cannot make choices anywhere. There's nobody can make choices. There's no personal choice in personally after all. Because nobody can make any choices in any place. Decisions. They can all go for the most obvious way. The most inevitable way in any case. They can all do actions here and there. Therefore, it's not choice but it is as a sort of selection. It's a kind of inevitable action in that case. And so the choices and the individual actions as a selection. As the mind is different visualized different possibilities. Whatever actions is each of actions visualizes a immediate processes, I guess. Even in the present work locally, even in the present work teaches because of the pressure. And I think it's rather how to choose an alternative ideas doesn't give more free choices. No matter how many alternative possibilities, there's my few there is possible this and there's a question of purpose life for the philosophy. Physical action. There's like all kinds of actions. So there's nothing happened usually. I'm gonna strive and now we're sitting here. Well, it's still really choice. I don't think about you should be about you are very separate entities so because it's not useful for myself to kind of have this little time for spend kind of thing. Just because you can make sure that I would have free manner is less because not pretty free so that's because there's more much freedom in the big act more or less because let's maybe have a more chance to have to be brave. Whereas because there's this freedom that no matter value also the physical the kind of freedom of the actions that so it's a person who's a person having very little this kind of freedom of different actions because very few different kind of things the requires us to get through the actions depending on if that is a physical so the person who is parallel classical that's because we call it lacking any kind of physical mobility is very little freedom of any kind of kind of physical action to anything, because he was also putting on some kind of violent channel, have huge, much more instead of actions, because it's not even like they do the free will about it, but it's also the physical action quantities of this. Some disqualified, but I'm different thing, some like good to do it out here. I'm not political, but not to do it all, so I don't want to different things what they do. There's always two things about good to and true. So people are some distance, and better way to express a kind of it. These are those of it. Yeah, that's all of it to anything, pretty much, basically. Unnecessary for me. So basically, my virtually is just like an oxidation, so the virtually does any pieces of this kind of murderous. This is the bits of this is the main reason of punishment, and there's an access they have no capability to have free will choices, in my opinion, so I don't think there's a real affiliation here in this case. That is kind of reason is effort and the lies around here. A lot of system. This is a classical of harm reduction. Therefore, it's in respect, giving a respect of human life and the society don't prematurely end their life even they have murdered human humans. So society here is cool, man. That would be better than murder, as in case. I mean, even the murderers have a respect to human life. This is still respect to human life and to keep this kind of stance around no matter what the individual stances. This is going to be some kind of a I love to better in this respect case. The society doesn't discriminate the humans when individuals don't discriminate as a lot. But the society is always comes the individual, so it's therefore always murder as a case as a support of punishing, therefore the process is not automatically leading a force particular political force or doesn't really keep anything around there for those results. It's condition can be very negative or would be the reason about it, so that would make a first thing ensure nothing a la blasa not living a physical sense of all there. It doesn't any kind of a pain, so any kind of thing, so this kind of thing as inflammatory kind of they just version that they have done or they recognize this kind of idea, but they just had no choice to associating as unfortunately it's there's across all types of settings, so when I understand anything so they work around this universe is always more than that. So it's supposed to more like humans, because it's interesting, it's the more about the universe alive is interesting than the particular persons are just a part of the system of there. Everything happening in that direction. So like this, how it should that you think of anybody in things or and that's the talking no that is a kind of this kind of thing just about people make a choices and kind of choices, I don't know, there's no choices and the rest about people actions are access easy because actions are a lot less freedom of action. Access or inevitability to certain actions proclamate their own self-interest and therefore most of the persons associated with that is like a punishing or whatever it is because it's one piece of psychological pleasure, this kind of thing. Think about it, similarity is just it's psychological pleasure kind of they motivate them to participate society more if there's some this is kind of a detrimental the person who don't participate in society appreciative there's a sort of just in modern society is about like a protective as a kind of a being case in a who need the most society are people less capable as an so living in society case and living as a function as a part the model is very heavily human-centric because of this people who are suicidal, very poor people we talk about this normal societies where the human life is given let's give an example Iceland example here is support Iceland the human life is very valuable education and no matter who life but then after vacation all English or they hear application interesting also there's people who are easily identified to be unfit to surviving alone themselves are here. So therefore the person institution or just a lot of the effects for the people who are healthy are usually help this will be kind of a care, it's a kind of a home care, this different care system. Of course we understand that it is practical to get it actually possible to take care of themselves around here. And it's always kind of maternal care is always absolutely assured but everybody will be this kind of maternal care you won't be necessarily making an offspring education maternal care and so there's no serious human learning on the board who wouldn't have at some point of life they need some kind of care about especially 100% when they infect every single human needs the maternal care or they won't have never survived their lifeline because they never in that moment will be directly from the birth around will be just putting it for the nature that they're surviving the human interaction they would but they will survive there's stories of course so kind of wolf taking care of the animals possible but I don't know there are other things I'm a little it is hard to really say anything about that it's very likely in general but not necessarily possible I don't mean that case as every human in the world how strong they are now or when it comes to they always have a hard time very big after there's really somebody that's half for the existence, I guess, and therefore they are always, I guess, everybody duty about here, is duty about, so duty, the big effect of the universe, and also, there's a benefit to something, you know, so it's too secure, duty anything. Duty is boldness, word of boldness, there's so many words of boldness, the word is it's meaning that the universe doesn't have any kind of even set value of those is the story kind of something should be or should not be but there's ideas on there are open ideas they will be forever and the type of universe of being there's two things in the universe there are things which are actual real things and imaginary ideal things and also there's imaginary ideal things they are usually like a language is a thing they should but real things are actions are so that like humans speaking languages so they're real things they come in some sort of waves around birds except myself but also always imaginary things and not actually real things in this because they never basic any kind of a physical material reality it's already that is of course that is always based it's a kind of electrical brain function the factor all the minds are always based actually all thinking about it they always did not brain processes itself as like most of the things ideas thinking everything always because it's your empirical property of brain function and so it's a boy cannot reality the property is intelligence and this is a portion of the ideas about the reality about it even the brain is popular the same kind of ideas are here what we see it is that they are still given very value about that in freedom as it's sort of freedom never said about that. We became two idle brains. Two idle brains would be always our second set of followers for always the 9 days a case a year. Accelerator, because the identity brains and every difficulty focusing will be always, so the present we will always think about it. Also, on the ideas also always very mystical as whoever said anything, the same area. So where is separation of selfish, the selfish should be, the self-interest it should be. So this is everything that is separate, but I'm not concerned about the is separation in combination is the most important factor here is I was going to say about it, the very function thinking about it, that was hypothesis as the other kind of ideas considered by different or even the concept is the all thing is a process of action. The whole concept is still they are not easy is that is the case because especially if I think about it, only is green and it's yellow actually. It's the actual thing is the yellow that you have to. So what is separate with my thinking about it? My thinking has nothing to do with the reality of what it is I guess here. This is an interesting separation of matter of the universe. Okay, so that's only actually when it is not any instance. My thinking was the case that I believe that it was zero issue. But it is coming from the absolutity. So it's called the subjective reality separation. It's the quality is also quality is that the blunt and that's very forever from now on there's this universe there is no any also there's no absolute knowledge of any kind of existence, no morals, no anything, everything is just always created by American property of this brain investigation, American property also the American property of in kind of brain processes skills and any kind of machines, you sort of living organisms pretty much only create odds around here. The stones don't create odds around here. The Mars don't create odds around here. But any of the devices might be create odds around here. And definitely dolphins, apes, especially Homo sapiens, create odds around here. Massive number of odds every time. The last books are full of odds around here. That is these collections of the certificate. There's always sort of passion. It's basically important factor. Something about some mental condition, disease of the lack of openness around here. Is that a lack of the kind of a visual purpose, mind about the kind of a also the kind of people that you should think about it. What is the disease like ASP, antisocial personality? How is kind of description about it? Is that no less is some cases what is the description also and kind of what this is they are shocked to be against the human health cancer so is that if cancer is disease because of that there will be a disease with the community that one person that people existing or members which subjective is coming from doctors with one would be so in case you very much cancer patient would be found about this kind of thing and therefore it would be naturally dying off over this I will be getting the next patients okay so socially the cancers would be easy because the individuals that naturally dying of the conditions and losing of the forecast power and the labor of the society benefiting. So society always has kind of the forecast power as a consumer in the capitalist markets and as an employer labor against the labor force creating and withstanding and expanding of the society as a whole against labor, model. So humans are labor models of the issue and so on. For each of the society to exist, they are as it nailed it as it said to create more honesty. You cannot stop here. These parties because straight after how we understood thing as this everybody can make a new kind of way of thinking right just thinking in application code so what is really meaningful? What is the next thing that is all this?
facilities later. It was only that's there's a lot of back. But he didn't mention about this, was something about nature and universe, but he said it's about why did he focus this stuff? Why they focus the focus the other? This is so hard to always focus the same thing. But so why you don't focus on this thing and done? But when I've never not called on web page. There is a kind of idea about selection and quantity. Actions interesting. And also actions, it's very important thing that person there's always to cover what counts actions, their actions that's what by it will be just at least. Why I actually sleep now? I just was studying about myself earlier. So I'm a subject of my own interest case, the party issue. I much more study myself than is the bar next to me, or even the house around which I'm living is. I put more investigations and trying to keep myself up than the house. One of the reasons because the house is pretty much able to standing its own very stable foundations around it. You don't need much schedule to really put to keeping up the house because it's a living substance around it. The house or a building where a person live or a home. This is very materialistic. Materialistic every race because it is a very stable because it's remained exactly the same. It's not moving anywhere. It is keeping the function pretty much the same. It is giving shelter for a person, keeping inside, and the person is not going anywhere after a day. So now, and the function its materialistic structure remains same. There's not. It doesn't need any kind of a feeling anything as material for 100 years. Left the purified nature is able standing around. The bricks are not moving anywhere, there's no air plugs, and the inside gets there's always a renovations that are ruthless. The paint might be coming from above, so a little bit losing of the body. But nevertheless, even some materials might break apart, you saw a wear and tear. In the case of the inactivity or any kind of use about this is that things will be pretty much keep their own shape from here. It's going to be break the balls probably tens of the years around here. The sun is coming out and will be around the functionality, will be a little bit of the losing of the balls around the paint around the irrigation. But there don't be any red painting up on there unless the person will be showing up the copies and the balls or whatever reason other actions will be causing a little bit discoloration or anything. So the thing of the materialism, they don't break apart of what we mean overrated. In the short period of time of 10 years, the wall suddenly doesn't crumple inside out, so it stays same around the material, this standing of the shrink, which would be characteristic of it. But this doesn't need some kind of a full kind of description about the house function, and doesn't focus in itself around here. The physical organized body itself is the person is constantly under feels kind of a pressure of the germs around here. Those heats kind of energies going in and out from a physical body around here. The consuming that always more food in the metabolism is always changing every moment, every part. The person needs to sleep resting around here. I think it's a sukkar experience, and just looking at the sukkar and looking at what happened now. All things we mention about what I eat, what I consume, doesn't make any difference. What I do doesn't have any difference. Conditions are the same every time. So if everything is as much the same relation is, so if everything about physical qualifications is being things have a homological analysis. Or if okay, stop eating some food, it's just the balance is and so it will be in a slight change about that. The only change that came was because I saw the balance, therefore the balance eating whatever nation is for better or worse. So that's a big problem. I need to keep everything the same around it, able to observe it. In human life like this is very hard to, especially food cases, all different kind of foods around here. And the same answer they should be able to understanding what the food surrounding the population. The understanding of how it functions of what is kind of called it is called RGI. It is called respiratory tract RT, which is equal to GI which is a recognition of us, and otherwise, of course, is the education of abstract around here. So these are all the names around here. I never read the columns, level, parsers, audition, patience, so much. Lastly is part for the rest of whole of the system which will be taken out because the full nutrients and will be transported in the non-cylindrication of the bipolar and this replication is the ovation over the system ovation and the full blessings are the kind of main service on the system that is in circulation. For one end, the circulation is both different cases compared in this kind of multiplication system is that the respiration will be coming from back to blood and will become back to heart and full to the circulation. That's when we call it circulation because it will become from part A to the P and thereafter it comes a little. It's like a one-way rotation and there's no return anymore. But there is this constant case and understand how much does I want to take off the proteins of the food, okay? A quick idea of why it also has a process of energy. This is the question is that the energy person cannot function. Based on this actual need they respected with energy. This needing is actually comparable to the actually certain amount of minimum of energy to keep the body function, metabolism going on. You need to constantly thinking that they are every thinking about like so much energy is also who don't need to, who do not fight, they not also think on. Don't actually also on, they don't feel anything happening in the world on it, they're not able to observe it in the world. Those who are critics about even they have a meaning of body functions, they have a clear theory, please down here, clear preservation, so call it. They lose a bit of a very quickly temperature. You can use some kind of a material, it's like a solid hydrogen today, so. It's not as what we putting the liquid hydrogen will be solidified very soon. It's gonna also be like a extraordinary period because the temperature minus 272 of the 2 Kelvin around there. And temperature Kelvin is about 2 Kelvin away from the absolute zero of temperature. Therefore there will be almost very minimal any kind of molecular motion about any human body is there is no any kind of biological function, of course chemical let's say it's also and experiment thoughts are pretty much basic for electrophysical and kind of responses and there is nothing going on because there's no energy coming in and out of the body line. The person is totality and there's gonna think about it observing, there is no conscious you're not playing dead in every possible respect. It's one thing of what some persons I always find mad and why is it so easy to kill some things like a mammal says and when the answer is impossible like the physical body is still there, it's a very we don't have a chance about this I always think about the clear person that the person was physical sense everything is functional. Why is it possible to some kind of after is what we melted on this clear preservation and that's a good question on it. And the fact is that this is of course a particular brain only page of it. It is shown about the clear preservation that every other body parts apart from the brains are able to restarting of any kidney to practice functionality. So it's sort of hard or sort of reserve this kind of a way. And they could be very easy as the transport of the human state fully back function and the reason is of course is that we're looking for all the molecularity because they are pretty much reserved all the chemicals how about the human brains are here? What the brains are when the brains once has to stop functioning just as if this is certain chemicals what is the process of getting it like ignited back to this in China
before this component, like the electrical device can be switched on and off occasionally anytime. Why is it only possible the same time with the human brains are here, where we as the human? Why are not we making this animal as this kind of sort of business as said in A? And I think that's what they could do. So, what is there really is a self-interest for the most important task is elaboration to ever completion of something so the extremely boys. So I guess less aging right here. Aging is what's interesting actually. See, aging. Aging is the thing that has killed most of the humans ever in your life right now. Not necessary. If you look at the aging, has killed very few animals. Except my animals aging is never that's all out of poor athletics ever to come to fully factor there's usually something else animals quicker or whatever. So this is a problem that's other animals as a predator for short animals. The fact of how this aging means getting older is slower running away from other animals or to get less resistant on the disease station. So you not be that absolutely by aging is the cancers the mean of race is giving more chance and more so living is more there's some physiological we say hundreds thousand years on as a young as possible in thousands of more chance to develop cancers more things will be occurring and aging particularly the cancer isn't do anything else take it one or 10 but it's just if you want to Google 1 or 2 billion except for chance to already have quite a lot of flights around it just will be there will be very likely that that's a one time with your cast there because the enormous amount more quantity of all the opportunities and more is eventually can happen is a factor of probability theory even in enormous amount of the opportunity chance on happening will happen for that's interesting because these are things on the mathematics it will be happen it will be also be finally gets in the coin for event location. Although if you read in this actual system for mathematical terms is always a very good definition. And so the value is the empirist mathematics is wow to have absolutely every phenomenon all the universe should be purely mathematical terms and we will be simulated we can go background of simulating absolutely every single element of our universe if have no background for computation power to be able to calculate it. Of course this is what we require much more common power that the very real sense of the universe should have capability, but instead of kind of the hypothetical possibilities of course and hypothetical is always the meaning about that the conscious life and things a lot that could happen but the mental processes can always of course idealize as different possibilities but are real. It's an interesting analysis human have so the reason is things for some possible is what's useful to have this carefully politicized or speculate the instance of really less the scenarios, the fantasies so these are not real, this never can be materialized, utilized real life is more so limited, there's never time to do anything and there's no natural life of the reality and whenever the conditions never are really able to have no simple any power to do those things it's just so simple as that it's just a capability, ability, balance, whatever age it's just lack of the full characteristics that's something that's unique for us but the question is here this is kind of a capability thinking about anything in this hypothesizing what's the function of it apparently it is selected in evolution terms and say because even the friends keep degradation and we keep more things also all about that but instead of purely the real things are the sensory. He said that everybody is real things. Even the human societies must be this. He don't put it as it's for the recognized for the function pretty much optical is a purely real life. So it's one-on-one like it's for this was a meaningful metaphor. They also suffer their self-existence and keeping up their own. Living means they're focusing on things with haven't no ever anything real amounts of their life around here. And they heavily discriminate about the only plural possibilities and impossibilities. Okay. With some individuals orientation, it's easy to process all the discrimination as a level. Everything could be always good if we except few points around here. It's only some taking some freedom to something happen and so on. Always requesting about the idea that everything on the universe, every things or every laws or just for laws the always don't exist is about obligation. There's no objectivity of any sometimes the things around thinking oldness is have no objectivity is anyway, no, there's no freedom. These are the going to places with almost free or free. Or I'm free, but also places very unfree. So what is the thing what is matter? I guess it's a bit better tool test case. It's better tool test validation. The group of bias are here. There's something I abuse because a person calls sleeping later. Yeah. And thereafter a data plane is theorist is kind of a circadian clock around your brain. You need to take apart because it's very pretty earlier. And when they were sleeping, what happened is the person who has the right to take some sleep is these conditions policy. So that's much more energy later in the evening, especially nights earlier. But then he went to go sleeping earlier. So therefore just heats on that period. He kind of that used because that is a bit. But then he starts to go to so what is already here? That's like the rest 2 hours before sleeping. So kind of gets sleep, he says very sleep. And 2 hours gets about heat and there was a sleep here. I'm very sleeping. The next day I had to sleep again. So there's a very difficult process. Of course, verification professor would actually circular verification and do that, but then after he's just an accept that he doesn't want that kind of thing, and his own interest is not having it. So this kind of a thing where the rational self-mind is not able to really change the physiological response, physiological the physiology always will dominate the person being the sleeping is not some physiological dominated about that mind dominating because mind and nerve really control sleepiness or rationalizations have no function about that will choose the sleep doesn't sleep or make the person actually sleepy. This can always be a separate function. It's it's rational to observe, but not functional the changing here. Therefore, the person is able to observe analysis things in not all that like to happen, but it's not able to change it, you cannot change it. I don't know how this is because you can change, but it was not the physical, it says you can be forced physical, you can be sharp is a clear freezer example, and therefore he's having no option when he's a square freezer, the polybody, and this is sleepy versus but possibility. By instance, okay, so he's unless he's not awake anymore, that's the measurements. The same thing I had to say, that's what of course he uses intelligence, designing and the shocks and nations, it's somehow elucidating a person, and for some concepts, actually here, the sedating of the person's mind is necessarily the best thing. The question is always, how much freedom there is all of that? Is it going to get in a very heavy tolerance of everything? Or is there a substitute that is a very serious intolerance of everything? And it's a very serious functionality or as a structure of his actions. Structure that he do this and this and this, and it's a probably response that he would be using any kind of methodology. It's the portion of the person's body can function will be decided by portion and decided our consequences, decided results. Very good question. So, now this is looking for everything what the person's conditions are originally. Let's looking for just many size of person, doctor, is not the we're looking for. What is the practical qualification is I want you to take a deeper depth. So one thing is the shoulders in doctors that they don't too much waste time in what it is and all kind of thing. Clearly this case, maybe it should be. And it's like then every single choices are in our case so these choices is subdivision. This is the two practitioners are a full test. Any question why you should be is the automatic and very dollar process. One thing is a person sorry for thinking much faster than he's supposed to speak on here. It's not those two people I say. Okay, the person is supposed to make a 10 billion different kind of thing. 3D process in 1 second, but they can only speak around 1 word per second as the person will be an enormous over vessel and knowledge about them, but he never ever this is really popular. He have only collected like 1 per billion ever to say about a voice he could 1 second because his mind is just over reinforcing solicitation. Only this minor is there as he was saying that's one thing right here, keeping another thing right here. Because it's impossible. So the question is like he's gonna have a train function. He can think billion thing 1 second, but he can't say only one thing in theater. So when he talks about this kind of thing, well, you can figure out the things is separate speaking down there. Because you can't be just the model said was most very heavily characteristic is timeline, most sophisticated, the most useful things. So this is the called the smart speaker idea. There's every word have a much more functionality of the characters. And looking for the idea that intelligence was really this is the reactions which are the most self-preservation existence and self-interest is a meaningful, it's a comprehension. It is always goes self-interest, whatever, though it goes to the most beneficial of this software. And this time is thinking about it, so because there is human individual, so kind of lucky the same as self-interest, so it's called just like self-interest is like it's a selfless selfish. It's very people who are sacrificing altruistic personalities. So those persons are themselves not really on something that's perfect. They don't really care about what happened. They don't care really. The people that use extra tolerant conditions. They don't really self-worth of the witness. It's not even possible to set yourself on top of people have no concept of their own self-existence or whatsoever. As we know, this evolution heavily discriminate and the so-called self-interest evolution of forces about the survival trait of the self-interest. They have a much more higher survivable fitness or guilty penalty exercise. Therefore, self-interest persons pretty quickly get out of the real nature existence because they won't be spreading the genes about the selfless genes. Self-genes doesn't really at all what people are calling them because self-genes have no interest in case of any kind of reproduction or nation. After I solve this problem, if it ever happened in mutation, like those mutations become a relative, they will be never really existing. This would be really English. You should understand the universe more better, especially sociology, human despair about it. Understand why it's only the self-less persons in existing nations. Because there's no sort of genius those humans are here. There's a large realistic sociological conscious, other kind of like cooperation modes are in they should, but there's no genius relation what they should are. Even the behavior might be this, but still one of the reasons for like people who commit suicide or altruistic, they are with over 99% of the shell becomes material self-discussion, selfish genes. They technically have no selfish genes, but it's a kind of combination, the complexity of the population. In very few people, there's 60 million genes on it. Only one genes on it have a framställning real world conditions putting it in the podcast that kommer att function i proper så där respekt. Så att det får det service teams will be actually operated putting it on all the service teams on the reform of it because one silver shield about all the respect. This is my respect said about there is like one silver genes they should have that kind of a malfunction and every other function and verification will be as a type will be after the using after they say the problem because one silver is the better for everything else is that one silver genes can be have so much power because the environmental pressure and what the to shut out the whole the remaining goods. Interesting thing about putting the human bonus. Think about the human. If it's you know to do amazing good, if any human weapon is also perfection every possible respect. It will be even slightless, even one function is sort of perfection. There will be like I don't know survival whatsoever. There will be a super. It's like everything else. Somebody think about it, sociological and this kind of existence of them and how really something everything has to be so super in the universe. It will be so extraordinary, strong and functional and practical purpose foundation. Otherwise, they have no whatsoever survival in that kind of community and district, voluntary super discriminative nature of the universe because there are a lot of any kind of difference that existing and only the most strongest fitness but everything else I don't know whatsoever any kind of a super capability of the kind of a super competition. So this is an important condition the universe everything is a super competition as a maximum competition or whatever. Therefore only the most strongest and the fittest have a kind of the existing functioning. Because it's kind of guidance of application, it's very hard really this kind of nature existing anything. If you look about this kind of thing in a real world about the real human square about and everything is what we have one life of it would be competition for us who are every single actions have to be of course realize about that's not freedom in effect, that would be minimum zero freedom in theory. And so a zero freedom principle universe is a determinist universe never can be a freedom have a zero freedom have a base determinist universe because of every universe cannot have any difference whatsoever anything how they function. The principle of the deterministic universe in the person robotic it was also quite smart yet. Also, in the universe, they should have any kind of a functional piece of realize zero because it's a functionality therefore. So what is the fun about this kind of thing? Because it's probably a discriminatory because there's a freedom say there are other freedoms when realize but it doesn't have freedom, has no freedom whatsoever and we're falling apart. So what do you learn about that kind of thing? Well, learn about the reality of it. Absolute zero freedomness of the universe and the full nature of the reality is because of person is part of the same very definite universe of the universe having enough freedom as there is because and alla is going to be total or maybe not total if you have lots of freedom of the there was no freedom because it was even that to the feeling education but nevertheless education exactly because it would be possible that it would be equal inevitability absolutely and equal actions are as inevitability as anything else and therefore of course I say but of course when you use the question is what quality about it what I know about personal better this kind of thing have no any possibility of freedom in a sociological as massive scale of the application. People listen to certain religions and anything as this kind of thing is the biggest poison of the possibility of improvement because it would be really developed a very purpose and fake existence and a fake piece of purpose removing all the fake in service because it is but in reality since everything is no matter what are equally zero or meaningful purpose more. And it's always fake, as you have to create this as a constructed application, engine application. So it's made for something, it's a purpose made for a universe, but there's no purpose fuel it's there for so what's the first person etc. For it has nature. It's like a house also there. You have to construct the houses, these big houses, so this was the purpose actually also this kind of thing created out of the constructed because there was no purpose in the start on it, that created for the purpose. And there are often the purposes of course created from a expectation. At least whatever the person is functional special. So it depends on all those cases. So just when he's physical, so weak around here, he show body, he's strength in the psychological investigation. So physical being is lucky of the multi, so having this kind of like muscle, having of whatever it takes is dominate about what he's doing, like the rationalization about it. And make his thoughts around here. He's a philosophical matter, but the realization about it is the real nature of the physical nature of the matter of the universe. And in this he's going to extraordinary incorporate like knowledge about physics, chemistry, whatever nature of science in the investigation. So that's the nature side is going to so his strength is sort of about being very knowledge and understanding very about the nature of science, right? Who's about the nature of science and that's very well because this becomes very so is there any questions that have to be asked about here? So this is the purpose of being business. Well, it's all one of the victim or ambition that this is the universe. And one of the is an hope for a fire upper academic power, whatever. And of course the nature of it. Some cases what they're looking for. So they don't have this kind of negative positive affectation. Positive affect is some cases subjective, which believing everything is universe of it. And no matter what they are, it is positive. Just because they are, it doesn't matter how they are, it's because positive is always there. Very little understanding about the universe is with the personal plans, it's positivity. This is right about whatever happens and it's positiveness and no matter how things are, they're always positive. It's just positivism. Here is will be of course extra but no matter ever is existing in this negative and so on that they share. Reality is about our justification. Reality popular was robbing at the zero bottle of the AIDS and no matter what happened, it doesn't really matter. So reality is present who everything is zero matter. Not really matter, it should how things are attention. Because as a no, is it possible to be really super reality universe? Because it doesn't have no leaf for location. It doesn't have to be discriminatory, it has to be self-discriminatory, we don't have discriminators for a scientist, it's not a scientist station, being a scientist, but I already have a uniqueness is a lucky thing. Regular perspective is one thing, temporary policy is still positivity, the rules are looking for persons suffering, the competition and salvation. And it's a fact of it, obviously. It's just the person looking for all this, is a weakness, this is the person that should be recognized, be acknowledged, because the nature that doesn't operate, because the weakness of this is not only equal to self, and it's an amazing claim of what the other is pleasure. But I understand the piece also border around here. The idea is simply here. Pleasure education, it's not kind of a mission of doctor, it's a criticism of the person, not the person of being. The person will criticize a single individual instead of the nature. This is a positive thinking, of course. And person, that's a copy of the universe, how it is, and there's some oldness, but there is an entire for the person who's on individual, there is separating for the nature of some respect. So the problem is just learning away from that rest of nature. So the rest of nature is out occasionally. So that you learn about this nature, yeah. You learn about this nature. This different formation, whatever it's called. It's a kind of a competition, it's a competition, different formation, but he realized about it, about the how the nature works, like this, that's it, actually. In itself, component, very interesting way, but he learned about what the nature is, he learned about what the universe operates, he learned about the nature labs, psychology, he learned about the sciences, he learned about the things, and that's a very interesting thing about it, because he gave us a knowledge about it, all those elements as far as he's learning, knowing, thinking, and everything else. The emptiness of this kind of purposes, universe, or the purposes, or emptiness, basically, the needs to have kind of negation for the kind of all eastness of application to natural laughness, the inevitability process of everything. This is. I love that really cool everything. I say myself of course the book about absolute universalization. It's long issue, but anyway, if anybody uses stupidity, of course there will be the same type of stupidity. So what is made of infinity of information created? Of course infinity. There's no particles in the universe. Within the best density hard disks are about, because they will be infinity more and more creating information. He creates something, this is man-based, the government doesn't have no big power, this kind of thing, anything. But anyway, power is, he looked me power is so perfect. What is here the important factor is also about it. There's no chance to freedom of the universe if it is existing, guys. So that's the most important factor I see. So, as he indicated, himself is on that you sort of talk about, let's say something on here. Everything is subjective. Somebody like a person like me here is coming up. It's always hard to envision. I think he's something. And in that, it's like a very simple practice of kind of a reason. It's just pure reasoning, and it's just pure quantity of the information, I guess. It's like doing something that sounds pure matter, the incapability or willingness or whatever. And she's put huge effort to create enormous amount of arguments around what he would what he should do, but the secret notice again as so the other oldness is fully his gun or as a kind of a weapon or as full of physical ability, and the oldness is his mind, is his capable of creating of his own different arguments using language, for example, or dexter, but this is about that doesn't necessarily the argument is more strong than in kind of a concept, only that all the people who accept those these are able to pass those can make those processors is infinite thinking on here, great thinkers on here, but because he's a great thinker in this respect is enough to subjectivity, because he's always lacking on here. He was able to create the social equivalents of conditions, but he wasn't definitely a great thinker because he never himself the great thinker. They create more brain cells and create amount of activation use of brain cells and create 4,000 of all portal on here. And he lacked all those things. He didn't have great amount of brains. He definitely did not have any input on it. Effort that he goes through. Not only he gathered this assistance of this, there was still an activity and other respectives about lacking on it. So he definitely did not motivation. Nobody had a question about it, wasn't good. Should he have done that session? That's good in this person about like everything is good he had done or he hadn't done anything. He's of course so for like creating any outside. So this poor subject because this source issue. Like everything else, meaningful. Yeah, this is of course, the identifies are kind of names are everything, but he always identifies the same things. Doing things with the nature doesn't allow the person to do around here, with having no significance in the universe, doing things that are useless, social variation. Alternatives. These are all kind of things. It's just a simple, same thing, a universe with a zero feeling or anything different application. It's the first application. No need to any kind of all the words around it. The simple reality of other things are relation, and that's it. It's all this. It's got feel of the simply about the arguments created for the class, but mathematics and science are already proven for possibilities because it's superimposed already. Because you just put language out there and it's a mathematical out there, so purely numerical there, so it's one way of doing about things, and in language like always a little bit different way. There's a constraint over as a language and mathematics are not exactly one-on-one. There is difference thereafter. You recognize that when you're on here. But it's actually not infinite, and you're always infinite infidel arguments. Why I choose something like that? Simply because I think that my argument is always most strongest in our case. I always justify and do something like that. While your argument is always really soft, it's pretty subjective quantitative and pretty subjective decision. Covering the ice on here, so my interest was again focusing on myself as a motivation, energy. So what is this? That was a proceeding here. There's a fluctuations of chemicals that put a strains on relation. Analyze those patterns around the hormones of GCIT, GPINT, GAC 1.9, along facial hormones, it's around 90%. That's really acting those ones. Those plasma serum is exactly. Cravings are magnificent things, those are magnificent things, there's why is better is because popularity is also something, different questions in the values in the bells in the trigger, there's less similar things are unique online. That's what politics are, politics are about the easy argument meaning that it can be physical strengths they have a political based on alpha using the mind argument meaning after conflicts in some aspect just one example that they will repair because he can and he want his own interest because he was a sick lad I think but if you would allow this would be the menace easier because it's a bit easier everything is about yourself like universe but approaching the universe is not just everything right here. Using accepting alternative things is poor because a chance to be the difference. As well as always something learning to hate this universe because people some disgust this universe I always on the planetary scale reading of the same as the whole existing universe versus whole as always if you go to the planet of the universe whole everything is the cause of the whole entire universe the unknown cause unknown for self-knowledge. the thing is that nobody humans know me very well, what I think, because they haven't seen a lot deeply in others. The best way to know me is to think as much as possible as subjective, as unsubjective as possible, as objective as possible, and as separation. I think there is nothing more human apart from myself who know me very well as in the respect is my mind concept. It's a kind of mind public. It's not called a party upon it. There's not so human apart from myself who really know very well about my interest, my own self-hood is. And that's the reality of the universe. It's about also the reality humans version, but I don't necessarily call that kind of premise. Every humans in our period is always an unique way in their mind about it. It's about I'm not unique way in my physical way about it. I'm not a person of the sense of every other human. But uniqueness is specific mind and conceals all the operator and disorders in the about it. So every unique way is really shine or fight around difference around here. It's kind of thing, but it's open up and you know what there's a kind of thing on you can never tell any humanity or any specific way and the relevance for you. This is important factor, interesting about it. Anything that I know about, anything that I think about it, that's the same thing I don't think about it. You can really ever say anybody person who's most relevant for you because that will be completely because you know that this is a kind of PR support yourself, relevance because service is self also kind of the reality is it. But the same for absolutely unobservable what you know the question whether there is no certain absolute universe, we have no absolute consequence or something like that. It's like a much bigger difficult can be mostly on a universe or your communication. I'm called the universe of the other, but the universe with any kind of consequences in it. Consequence is always consequence investigation. This was himself, he's got that his mind is the key factor of pleasure. Because the mind, fascinating mind, he's so fascinating, he's really fascinating, that is it, and there's all kinds of things, it's all stuff being investigated. The reality, it's so much, it's always learning, and that God is the universe, always giving any individuals, or actually any super, because it's always still, it's just some kind of back pains, neck pains, which causes upper back pain. That's part of a lot of realization. He's just sleeping out. It looks like the neck is very balanced for there's a problem where this concurrent with the positions. Even the fact that the back pain is also that is specialized around his position about the relationship. Those factors are also different than Alexander's situation, different needs of the Alexander's needs. And the plates are there's just with the spine. The spine is an interesting area. The spine is what's hardest to break apart is most animals. Even before the emperor, the first third division happened in the Grand Force. The first grand level, the is seen as essential in the frame that year. Another third division. And that was already improvisation. No execution. As you can have all the time myself, it's the process of the improved development of separation. No execution means shining energy issue. So let me reshape this energy. The next thing that I was official, put more attention and oxygen. What do you think about it? Nitrogen is useless to say. But I think about it. How is it activation? Even with poorly oxygen, I mean, all of the gases, it's just pollution. So it can be filled with some kind of nutrients around it. It's like I'm breathing food, so some kind of sentence application, but a material is irrelevant application to thoughts actually and over the molecules are only specifically consumed as what we basically energy is putting your system through those materials again. So the second that this is based upon the recipe free air with any oxygen is only used for glass or the nitrogen predominant because in the atmosphere. I mean, nitrogen, you may think that I'm not problem as this is nitrogen. The nitrogen in the gas is have a very few functions. You bring the external small amount of nitrogen is actually required in the gas in case of a person speeding area. In a effective one, maybe 200 of the oxygen for the amount in here. Requirements in case of the gas for only 200 is so atmosphere that is a total condition with the 99.85% of the atmospheric oxygen, and then there would be minimal other kind of gases also. There's an organism would be human to produce naturally loud process of human body. There's a other power that kind of thing in there. It would be maximum efficiency case. So that's the best about I've heard of this so space stations interesting is several conditions, but the whole system is artificially fluids and gases. One of those conditions, there's no reason whatsoever that using nitrogen you can't gas around it. Because you have some form of pressure gas, nitrogen gas is used, this is a place of blah blah blah. To reality. In the deeper, I look at a lot of pressure there. So education. Most likely oxygen, superoxygen. So navigation in the lungs, this is called speeding up the lung because the key in the lungs is a kind of variation that have an easy position in breathing. Open airways, most oxygen is slowing down, feeling circulate. Well, this doesn't how long naked the difference is. Of course, a short-term boost of the oxygen impression. The body is still fueled by all kind of elements, which was given that the simpler energy is all about the energy. Only possibly chemicals as well as body. As it does overheat, the body temperature rise in some salts. Control basically, so for polyextremes. So for the headache, this also. That's important factor. Remember, this is the RHEP factor addition. This addition the name, but the factor is called the regular periodic factor will increase. So kind of the ACTP case intake so it's suppressing so very powerful shutdown and control. This is the kind of non-controllable systems that be controllable systems of and then suppressing medicals medicals is a really cool thing. The self-full classification is really cool. But there's no self-full in this universe and everything has conditions. How you use your sexuality, I guess the thing about the molecular self, it's not just that one component of the universe, so it's a part of the patient is. Make sense, in full case it is just no problem about it, it's fully the super material it is there. Point this case, the thing behind but what should this kind of thing behind is because so this is use all this kind of that should be exit but I love it later. The thing is the classical is they haven't really planned thinking about maybe they haven't eating things that kind of thing, although saying but never there's has no problem about it is the basic function. This is a reality of humans and everything else is just as you know about that kind of thing, that's the reality about that. They never taught you in school those things about that. The school curriculum is full of the very meaningless and pointless things, so it's a good base to the time for self-interest, isn't it? To put in the background, each is some kind to us, because so from a person you should feel now interesting. So it really never existed very well. We had said it was more efficient given perfect is the time. There isn't thinking on your coming. Big great philosopher, the big great thinker, great mind. It's a good body plans, but somebody is thinking about there's a lot of thinking going on here. But it's sort of the thinking terms. Alright, so it's a philosopher, so I have to understand it. Alright, but I need to use more thinking. There's more thinking that's gonna impress result is. There's no task out there, there's human out thinking time, it could be solutions, nevertheless it would be surpassed by the quantum of measurements. Nevertheless it could be less reasonable to find something happen. Killer, just like Ed Sheeran, or as a better advantage, killer. Nevertheless, somebody would be immediately, and this would be immediately big advantage. So never fucking plan because this time. What did you were asking to me? Did you talk about renting local? Area 1, Area 2, Area 6. Seems in the utilization in our part variation non-20SN. Where is it? What a stupid variation. Yeah, I can feel it very badly. What a feel 4? This is a remain 4. But increase the immediately. This machine, RG application. Based on how these things operate, yeah. So that's the first next piece, yeah, this damn thing, yeah. There's a process now, yeah. Something is functional here. I do this kind of thing, for what? For why? How could you always can go backward, does it? Freedom is it? Remember Russia freedom is it? You only have to talk about the things. It is the conditions of then there are some suppresses that is so therefore it is to be allowed in that kind of thing, right? Allowed in our freedom. So the kissing was an effort freedom about that, but the conditions are now allowed in it. So why am I nice about that? Having the condition and I condition focusing on the things are, yeah. So what is this image change? So is this product has anything to do with it? Yeah, it is. There's only physical administration. There's only a powerful policy, it's necessary. Policy is what we call conditions. Yeah. So headache is another one of the function. I think about the best way because headache somewhere. This is nothing indeed, as you know about it. It's unfortunately the best way to get the lowest pain of the headache is to nothing. Just sleep on it. And not even thinking, not motion, not speaking especially. But increase our headache. So whatever I do, if I cause that not to move is do anything and there's any kind of work whatsoever, but because immediately increase the headache. Only way to reduce the headache is do nothing whatsoever. So headache is indeed one of those conditions really disappointing person, disappointing. Nothing else was still have a headache, but it was everything all functioning. Let's work on it, a functionalism. My focus is about a headache all on it, it's a headache, it's just nature putting at the higher, putting us barriers, limitations, it's a question of functionality. It doesn't calculate to anything, there's a weaken of the individual sense of looking for this kind of a thing from because the mind always advocates if there would be have a knowledge, you know what I'm saying? There's a one you always think that there's an enormous openness and feeling of the infinite possibilities here. Something that never really realizes about if the education is he needs an opportunity for this. I think about this work that I definitely will defeat you next time, is innocent conditions, any slight advantage knowledge or any advantage he could be repeating is another affair in there. So if everything is already that kind of way on here, and the surprise somebody else thinking, the Paul's very suggestion here. Okay, let's just say about it as a fear of anybody, but there are knowledge about the real between the landless is important about something, so he's very afraid, I guess, in there. So within the talk very well in a community, so if everything is part of the same software, it could be very to say. No, it won't have any trace advantages. Just don't think so. Everything has existed way there. You say zero difference is apart from realize that both the positive to the same conditions are is that you know of the nature of the occasion. Exactly, only if you lost the freedom of the country. In reality, nothing can ever happen otherwise, you only learn hating everything in university, calculation, how do you say about this? Well, because you hate the universe as a whole, as equality. Therefore, very slight proportion can be hate for yourself, because you're very say about the same about the materialistic sense. If you hate the universe, the universe will be 1.6 magnitude of the components. Therefore, if you will be able to 25 magnitude components yourself, you will be able to 25 magnitude a lot because you hate yourself of that. There will be still around 65 magnitude more components, or 55 actually here. The component existence, magnitude, 55 magnitude, or the components of the universe, which we hate is still more efficient. Well, that's the way around here. Components are here. Intelligence, those minds are here. Interesting are here. Those are very super intelligence in which are software. That's not the case in the world realistic case. That's because the linguistic intelligence and using of the language vision, smart man and making realization. Talk about the complex thoughts around here. So kind of variation. Uniquely perspection in solve for here. Well, the scene and it's really because some words will be in history. There's civilization. There's some civilization. There's a poor box here. Well, I don't know where she wrote the case of history. There is no talk here. It's very mind dryer. But this case actually is poorly mind dryer. Enthusiasm is pretty much comparing values compared to whom? So everything is comparison compared to well, they don't have it. There's everything else going for here, He said that the only thing keeping me awake was the nature just didn't have anything going. So easy to hate the universe, I already thought about the case of how much I dislike this universe verification. I won't be considering pulling of this. Doesn't make any difference. Nothing. Nothing make any difference whatsoever. It doesn't matter whatever you do. It doesn't make any difference. Any difference. Not a major difference. The reason is always the same. No matter what you do, it's kind of like that, but the individual catastrophic and the individual have no chance whatsoever his old qualities. He cannot change his old qualities, he will fix it no matter what he does. That would be near the individual will be always a super slave on his conditions, so therefore that would really changing anything. There's a feeling about that kind of thing. Super component. The state for universal condition. Qualification is an opposite realize you can realize the difference of its relationship as being as individuals is not really any kind of agent and it carries any difference because it just merely is a kind of offshoot around here. There's in this existence where or comparative universe is definite forces. Was really a story about that. You read about the thing about the history of the universe, right? It's a really deep book as you promise in future because in the early years, is when Earth will be in a desertification area, fully everything that's like and the universe will be given out of the black holes and materialization. And eventually every universe particle will be infinite amount, extraordinary large amount of these others that will be called a heat carrier. This is very good motivation to do anything about having this kind of prospect of the future universe all kind of different things. It's very honest, but it's only about the possibilities. But it's very encouraging to do anything about the universe because there's no really long eternalities and eternal traceability in the actions are. Because it's possible in the future history in universe if you ever live around here. Because it's impossible. So it's whatever you do, you will forever, and it's invaluable. You actually can never change that, that's true. The problem with many actions is that in the future it doesn't make any difference in how the universe will be happening upon it. And what the hell is this gonna be? It's a polarization. Nothing in the universe changes exactly whatever I do my isolation. The universe would be exactly the same kind of a future as everything. It would be so minuscule that it would be the effect of the universe would be extraordinarily small. This is my own actions. Extraordinarily small. The measure of the minuscule relation has a magnitude of the 60 direction. It's usually even if I would have possible free mind I would be only magnitude by 60 after the universe relation. One of the 60 location of the affection so far I leave of course not the limitation magnitude is operating. Some people would be not existing by human variation. The affection would be very quickly governed by the coin of global zero attention. And there is absolutely untraceable any difference that I exist or not in a very quick power. Not maybe 10 years, 100 years. But eventually there will be nothing. That's what is about past histories, about why the traceability. Even though there could be infinite different things happening, there's absolutely zero traceability in the past histories because of the universe. Universe and censorship of all the past basically the tools later to recognize how this is the possible really learning application. And of course universe people the censorship is universe itself has been observation even happened before except clear as the beginning of the universe because with even thought it's possible to in a existing universe any information rather than any evidence before this is because the universal principle of the self-censorship run here. This action is making possible and this there is everything impossible thing. Oh yes. This is what I do about the daydreaming around here. This is what I talk about the daydreaming around here. The information that was included in the listen, rationalism. Anyways, what's I difficult investigation? Another very hypothetical or less important factor is the development of science so on. Respectively. I'm going to homework on some other thoughts or something else. The motivation. Understanding about the motivation. These reasons and the purposes all more knowledge is given around about even more and more knowledge of this I not be change anything this is looking for a little bit more and more reasons in the document that you should do absolutely nothing that they can there are more reasons it's important you will take support minds of motivation looking for all the negativities of the society and then there is society perspectiveness and psychological things was quite impossible. Application is impossible. the people who are really super plastic, super realistic, we don't have very the kind of purpose of the absurd idea about the whole universe. They go to a bit mad or crazy or basically about how the universe. So suddenly gets realized about the nearness of the universe. Realize as also big one of our perspectiveness of everything is everything is dependent of the observer and it's all bubbles. It is everything depending on the relationship of the kind of predeterministical preset of the preconditions on a bird does a psychological for self-interpretation until it is reflected by the conditions what nature is. I'm going through users is for the looking for the environment of where I living. Because of this presence is adjusted for the environment. But this is the big issue is so the kind of lawless environment but that it deals with things with the purpose. But I would say about the issue is the things within here is the purpose. What do you mean by that? The kind of the nice category here is and the kind of purpose of the living. That's the important fact here is when my other doing actions are so purposeful actions and how the purpose is not just necessarily anything like this. It's not just only eating food which consumer is purpose because it has an affection for our own affective flavor and it's certainly affected as they keep talking about it. If a human able to get his gummy bean salads case it has some kind of backlash of all the free energy that will be turning as a negative against the system conditions changing here. This is about this kind of thing. This is not his own interest any kind of thing. So it might be your interest but it's not the my interest. I mean look at the other individual benefit in there. There's very little if any place but he benefits. So really critically it may be and that's very well the interest is of course relative and as an interest benefiting what terms are is quite on for everything. It's probably more survival because it's a conditions otherwise the other question is how free the system is super free therefore it has zero benefit. If you only have absolute the benefit is of the terms of the call must because if you're looking for everything inevitable evidence because you're looking for even humans in the purely terms of the deterministic conditions, they are fully functionally 100% interdeterministic ways. You have no free will, a zero free will to anything actually. So if you're looking for the condition myself, it's not in environment. And the actual things are looking for is very accurate description. Because in the end, whatever happened, people freaking abuse that vision. You have a 0% free will in any place. You never have that free will. You never actually have free will or anything. Actually, everything you put was very pessimistic already. So that's skepticism. The universe pessimistic. Every event in the universe was already abused when the universe began. And every event that ever happened when they put the universe would be always already deceived to their expectation. And they already are inevitable to happen. There's nothing can change those things. Because the universe is a less automatic reality. So things happen. There's no random in the universe. The universe has absolutely exact rules of natural causes. All the physical natural laws would be themselves causing all future of it as already decided. There's no any probability chance anything happening otherwise in future and as nature. Everything happening in the next 1 year will be already decided. Even nobody, of course, individuals and humans can already know those stuff. But this fact is, the fact will be happen hundreds, billions, billions years. Everything in the whole universe is fully predeterministic. Not that this focus universe over the individual existence. They lack in the knowledge, but they have a leadership, people have a leadership, not a chance possibility for authority. Or if they will not a solution and that's you can feel incorporate the knowledge about things. The universe itself already has this struggle for absolute reality about it. And of course, thereafter in this case. So So nothing ever happened could have happened otherwise. Nothing that ever in future will happen cannot happen otherwise later. That's the universe of this the most true unfreeless universe existing in the whole possible universe lives around Earth, which every universe shows that this program is probably inside. Well, what is the enjoy the true program that ever gonna happen mention is, well, what it is in all things in galaxy itself, don't you? I don't know if myself call in my mind if you might now actually be able to say some funny words here. That's the indication. And thinking about it. Think about it. More yourself as well implicates skepticism. Because about every individual cell in society is in the units everybody thinks this way around here. Well, how it is. Does everybody already think about it? They already disagree or not well, somebody's reason itself around economic kind of angriness purpose as well the rebellion of the conditions of the universe whatsoever. So it's the fact for the universe and thousands of universes and purposes and whatever things around such of a patient interaction. Because you can't escape those conditions, it's always standing action. It's not ever come out of an condition. What happened?